Hi everyone, welcome to the first video for the 3D printing workshop. Today we're going to have a look at 123 design. So it looks like this little icon up here. So if we double click on that one, you'll probably get to a page that looks like this. Don't worry about that too much, we just want to click Start New Project. And we should get a screen that looks like this. So this is 123 design. I'll just go through the basics for the cursor to start with. So left click, if we left click, we can select objects, move them around. I haven't got objects here at the moment, so I can't show you that, but we will get to that. So left click, pretty straightforward. Right click, okay, you'll get something that looks like this, and if we move it around, it just changes our vertical view of where we are. Okay, 360 in every direction. So that's right click, comes very useful sometimes. Now if you click on the scrolly button, you'll get a point of arrows like this, and we can use that to move left or right, up and down. Okay, pretty useful sometimes. And if you use the scroll thing, you can go in, zoom in or out. Okay, pretty straightforward. You can also look at up here where we've got a bit of a cube. So left view, if I click on that, I'll have a view from the left side. If I move it around, I can have a look at the top view, so bird's eye view. And obviously for the right, for the front and right, etc. Sometimes that's useful for a quick navigation, and if you get stuck, sometimes you get lost. Okay, so like here, how do I get back to a standard view? Just click on the little house, so the home view, and I'll get something that looks like this. So they're the main functions for your mouse cursor to navigate around your objects. So now we'll have a look at some of the tools to make our objects. First one, we'll create an object, which is primitives. So if you click on this little button or just hover over it, and we get a selection of 3D shapes. There's a couple of 2D shapes here. You can have a play around with those yourselves. I'm just going to have a look at some of the basics here. So let's click on a box, and don't tap on anything yet. Down here we've got length, width and height. So I can change that before I even create it. So let's say I want a cube that is 30 millimeters wide and high. Okay, so I want a cube that's 30 mils, not 20. So once I've done that, I can just click enter or click, and there's my box or cube. And I can navigate around that like so. Now if I use the left clicker, okay, tap on it and drag it wherever I want. So that's using the left click. You can also select it like that, so drag and let go. Okay, so there's a box. Let's have a look at a cylinder. So cylinder says, well, it just looks at the radius. So how far across do we want our circle, or how big do we want our circular side to be? So I might say we want a cylinder that's 5 and a height that is 15, and that changes it automatically for me, and I can click to create that. Again, I can move that around wherever I want. Pretty straightforward. Now, let's say I actually wanted a cylinder that goes on top of the box. So I want a radius of, let's say, 5 again, and a height of 20. Okay. Sorry, delete that. If you click your delete key, select it and delete, that'll delete the object. So I want a cylinder, radius, we'll say 8, and height of 15. Now, before I click on it, I'm going to hover over the box. So if I want it on the side, I would click on the side that I want, just hover over it, and hover over this side. Okay, I actually want it on top, and it should automatically kind of magnetize towards the center, but I can move it wherever I want. Let's have it in the center there, and just click enter, and there I have a box, and I've just moved it. That's because they're not joint together. So if I undo that, okay, I've got a box and a cylinder on top. Now, as you just saw, when I move that around, the cylinder does not follow the box. That's because we haven't joined them together. So if you have a bit of experience in Microsoft Word or anything like that where you create shapes and you want to join them together so that when you move one, everything else moves together, and that's by grouping them. So we want to do a similar thing. So if we tap on that object and click Control, tap on the other one. So we've selected both of them. If we go up to grouping, there's a button here that says Group. There's one that says Ungroup and Ungroup All. We just want Group. So if I click that, that's just mended the two objects together, so that when I move it, it moves it together, all as one. So now that's one object. Okay, so let's just say I did some more things and now I want to ungroup it. So I'd select it, go up to this button here, and we just click ungroup, and then I can move this wherever I want. Okay, I'm just going to keep them grouped together. Okay, so I'm just going to keep them grouped together. Now there's other objects there. You've got a sphere, a cone, what looks like a donut. We've got a wedge. Okay, a few little things there, which might be useful. You can have a play around with those yourselves and try and move them different heights, different lengths, and whatever. So next thing, I'm going to create another box, and I'm going to say, well, let's say I left it as 20, 20, and 20, and I clicked enter by accident, and now I actually realize that that object is not big enough. I want to change it so that it is 40 millimeters, not 20. So if I select it, we get this little toolbox down the bottom. And the first one says move. So if I tap on that, okay, it looks something that looks like this. So we get arrows, a circle around it. So if I tap on the arrow and move it left or right, okay, that'll go horizontally left or right, obviously. Okay, but it also tells me how far I'm moving it from its original position. So I've gone 35 millimeters to the right at the moment. Okay, if I go down this way, I've gone negative 31. Okay, means I've gone to the left. And I can do the same with the heights. I can go up. Okay, I've gone up 19. Or if I go down, I can go down to 12. However I want to go. Alright, let's keep it horizontal. So I'll just move it back. Okay. I'm just going to go back into it. Now that's the left and right. I can also move it forward and backwards. So they're all the different arrows. These buttons here rotate the cube. So if I wanted that cube on its side like that, or if I wanted it down that way, okay, I can do that. I can also, if I move around, use this one and it changes it again. Okay, so now I've got a cube that's on its side. Okay, not much use to me at the moment, but it might be a useful tool for you. So I'm just going to leave that on the side. I'm going to create another box, and it's 20 mils by 20 mils. Now, the next one is a smart scale. So if I click on that, we get something that looks like this. Okay, so this is how I can change the lengths and the widths and the heights if I decide I want a different size shape. So there's a couple of ways we can do this. Now remember, I wanted a 40 mil by 40 mil by 40 mil, not 20s. So if I tap on the little square there, okay, I can move it across over to 40. Okay, and let go. I can do the same for this one. So I just move it up until it goes to 40. Okay, be careful with those ones because it can change the that side that we changed before. Okay, and the height is a very similar thing. If I click on that little yellow one, that'll go up to and 40 mils there. Okay, so the yellow ones are just looking at that side, so actually I could have just gone horizontally this way, okay, and then that doesn't change the other side. So there's a couple of different ways you can do that there. Now let's just say I did that. Now I can actually go, let's say I actually wanted 35. So if I tap on that number, as I've got there, and type in 35 and click enter, it'll automatically change it for me. So I'll do the same there, 35, and this one here, 35, enter. And it automatically changes it for me. Pretty useful, and we can get pretty accurate dimensions then. So say I wanted 35.5, this one I wanted 35.5, and this one I want 35.5, and that'll give me a much more accurate length and width and height. So once you've done adjusting your heights and widths, just click on the little green arrow to say exit. Okay, so that's Smart Scale. That was this one. We don't really use a lot of the other ones though. You can have a play around yourself. So a uniform scale, let's say I'm going to change every side by twice as big. Okay, enter. And you get something that's twice as big. Alright. Now, I actually don't want it that big, so I'm going to go 0.5 now to go back. Enter. Okay, so that might be useful as well, if you know you have to double it or triple it, or whatever. Now, let's just go back to this little cylinder here. Okay, now I want this face here to snap onto this side here. Now I could create a new cylinder and then tap it onto the side of it, but I've already got one created here, so I'm going to use that. So if we go up to this little magnet here, it says snap, tap on that. Tap on the face that you want to start with, click snap. Tap on the side that you want and control tap on the other one, and it should snap on for you like that automatically. Again, that automatically groups them. So using the snap tool, it snaps one onto the other, and we can move them as we did with this one. Okay, so we don't need to group it. Automatically does it for us. So that's useful as well. So if you create one object, then you can snap it onto the other. So let's say I want this object snapped onto this object now. Well, I tap on that, and I want to snap onto that. That didn't work. Undo. Okay, let's do this. Okay, tap on that, and I want that side. Oop, okay, it's not working. That's okay. Undo. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. Let's go what we did. So click on one, snap onto the other, and I'm going to snap that one onto that one. Okay, so now I've got a strange little object, which is pretty cool. And now if I move it, it should all move as one. Okay. Now I've had a look at adding objects together. Now what happens if we want to cut away something? So I'm going to create another cylinder with a radius of 5 and a height of, let's say, 45. Now before I do anything, I'm going to tap on that side to look like that. Now what I'm actually going to do is cut a cylinder out of this box. So what I've got to do is move this, move the cylinder so it goes through that object. Now, if I click away, we can see that that cylinder has gone right through. Now, if we go up to this little button here, it says combine. First one's merge. Second one we want, which is subtract. And there's a couple of other ones there you can have a look at yourself. So we want subtract. So if we click that, okay, don't touch anything yet. We want to, when you click on subtract, we want to touch the object that we want to keep second. So first one, I want to subtract that one from the square. Okay, once you've done that, it should highlight in green, and we just want to click enter. Oops, sorry, other way around. Apologies. So if we go up to subtract, okay, I want to subtract, I want to keep the box, I want to subtract away that cylinder, and then click enter. So other way around there, click on the one you want to keep first. And there's a little hole through the object. Okay, quite handy. It's gone all the way through. And you can adjust it to however far you want, just using that move button. Now, one more thing I'll go through is we've got a ruler. So, first thing I'm going to create a... let's make another cylinder. Going to tap on this side. It's going to be a radius of 4 this time. Okay, tap on that. Now I don't actually want that cylinder in the center of that object. So I actually want it in the corner. Okay, and I want it 2 mils by 2 mils away. Or actually we'll say 5 mils away from the edge. So if I click on ruler, and on this side it looks something like this. So now when I tap on this, I've got a bit of a some dimensions here using my ruler. So I can move this cylinder using the arrows. So how far away from the edge do I want? I actually want 5. So I can either... Oops. Let's undo that. Sorry. Let's go... up to ruler, tap on that corner, and I want to move this object. And I want to move it so that it's 5 mils away from the edge. So 6, 5, okay. And I want it 5 mils from the top as well. Okay, you might need to have a bit of a play around with that one. Yeah, I'm just going to exit that. It's not really working as I thought it would be. Let's try this corner. Yep. Yeah, just have a play around with that. It's not really working. I just want to get through this video for now. So that's about it for the basics for drawing, creating objects. Might be worth just having a bit of a play around yourself just to get familiar with some of those. Have a look at using the ruler. It's not that great. Yeah, you might need to have a look at that ruler and see how it works properly. Okay, so that'll do for now. So have a play around. The next video we'll have a look at making a specific object. Thank you.